Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another JBDC Gift and Craft Virtual Biz Zone. I'm your host for this morning, and my name is Sydia Campbell. I'm from the Corporate Communications Unit. I'm so pleased to have you with us this morning. Now, as you would already know, I still have to remind you, though, that the JBDC Gift and Craft Biz Zone began last year following the launch of the National Craft Policy by the government of Jamaica. The policy aims to streamline the craft industry by facilitating both small and significant improvements in quality, variety, value, sales, customer satisfaction, and profits in order to build brand Jamaica. Now, since the commencement of these webinars, JBDC has successfully engaged with our gift and craft entrepreneurs through a series of presentations and panel discussions on topics including trends in accessory design, protecting your creativity, using cultural influences today to inspire design, and we've also looked at global trends to support the successful development of the industry. Now, this morning's presentation, we are going to be looking at the fusion of techniques in basket weaving and straw production. And our presenter this morning is Mrs. Sydia Brown-Griffiths. She is the part owner and marketing director for Sidcile Craft Limited. And I'm going to share a little bit about Sydia with you. She's a second generation part owner of Sidcile Craft Limited, which is a family business and manufacturing company that utilizes banana and jippy japper fiber to create handmade men's and ladies hats, ladies handbags and purses, tableware, wedding souvenir, customized cases for laptops, phones, iPads and tablets, as well as home decor for the local market as well as for export. As the marketing director, she manages the company's public relations and administration activities, and the business operates largely from home. Now, I mean, there's a whole lot more I could tell you about Sydia, but I want to give her enough time for her to be able to share with you what she has for you this morning. I want to remind you that if you have questions during the presentation, you can always feel free to drop them in the chat. If the session is interactive enough, of course, I'll interrupt Sydia for her to respond to the question and have the conversation while it's fresh. If not, we will facilitate the questions after the presentation. So it's over to you, Sydia, and we're looking forward to a very interactive presentation this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Santia. Thank you for that very nice introduction. It's my pleasure to be online, just sharing my experience and sharing what the industry has, what I've gained from the industry and what my mother has done. So thank you very much. So Sidcile Craft Limited, it all began with my mother and my father, mainly my mother. In 1962, my mother, her name is Cecile Brown, she taught herself to make hats from our local straw that's called jippy japper straw. And she used to make them at her parents' home. That was her passion, because when I asked her a question about it, that was her passion. She wanted to own her own business, and she wanted to make hats to sell to tourists and to sell to people. So she started that in 1962 by herself, firstly. And then she used to sell them on the weekends at the Kingston Craft Market. Now, fast track, having been married now, they both use their first and last name to form the name Sidcile, and that's how Sidcile came about. But my mom, Sydia, and my mother, Cecile, and they both put their names together and called the company Sidcile Craft. Now, Cecile now is she's the chairman of the company, and she has over about 60 years of experience in the field of fiber craft. She basically taught herself all of these techniques. The technique that she uses, it's plaiting technique. She knows other techniques, but that's the technique she uses in her field. She taught herself, as I said, she started out by just using her hand and a needle to sew the hats, and that's what she started. When things got, persons liked the product, she came to Kingston with the product, and I think Amars back then wanted some hats, And the amount that they ordered, she could not do it by just using her hand. So she went to Singer and purchased a machine. No, not knowing how to use a machine, she literally taught herself to sew hats on the machine in order to fulfill the amount of hats that Amaris ordered. And that's where it started. Because I asked her, nobody taught you how to use a machine. No, she taught herself how to use the machine to make the amount of hats. So that was good. Now, moving on from that, I wasn't even born as it. It was my brothers and my sisters were in the business. No, it now has become a family business where it is mainly run by her daughters, which is myself and my two sisters. And we specialize, as Sansia said, iPod case, handbags, ladies that all type of assorted wedding souvenirs, backers, home decor items. And the home decor item recently came on board, and that was because of the COVID. So that's like a brief introduction of how City came about and who it started with and how it all started. So if Santa could just share I put together a little PowerPoint presentation of how the fusion and the technique that we use. If Santa could just share slide 3, yeah. So this is how it all started. It was about 5 different types of hats: the Granger hats, the Bourget hats, the cowboy hats, Tyrolean hats, and the ladies hats. And these are all the plaiting techniques. These hats were all done by hand before she started to using the machine. And she also taught herself to do bags. That's the next slide, Santia. These are like normal bucket tote bags that she. So if you could see, there is on the left, I think it's my left, that's a small bucket tote. And all of these, like I said, usually the beginning she uses her hand, but no, because of she taught herself to use the machine, she started to sew it on the machine. All of these were like how it all started. It was just hats and bags, nothing else. Now, how it's going now, that is when we started. That's the next slide, Santia. How it's going, that is when we started to fuse fabric with the fiber. Because of how things started to trend it, because of us in the business now, we started to look outside. What are the trends happening? What are young people going after? What are people wearing? Mixing it with the fashion trend in the industry and trying to bring it back. So how do we move from how we started to where we are now? So we started the tight top bag. A lot of persons call it the scarf bag because on top of it, it looked like a scarf is sit on top of the bag, because she didn't start with that, but we started to just create some more fashionable items. So all of these 3 bags are the tight top handbags, where we use fabric. So instead of a zipper, we decided to take out the flap, take out the zip, and add a little class to it by adding a tie. Now that technique also is done by my mother and my sister. She taught herself how to do that technique as well, and taught us as well how to use that technique to make the bag more fashionable, more trendy, and still, we did not divert from the indigenous way of how she plaited the straw. No, it's still there, but what we do, we just add a flair to it, so it's more fashionable, it's more trendy, and it have a more international appeal because persons want bags, they want fashionable stuff. Yes, the original bucket totes were really nice, and some persons still ask for it. But I realized when we started to do this, person started to, it's more appealing to them. So that's where it's going. The next slide, Santia. Then we move on to a square tote. Now, persons sometimes ask us for bags for work. Now, normally I would never ever thought that person would wear a straw bag to work. So my sister and I came up with the square tote bags and also adding a little fabric to it. So on my left, that's the applique square tote bag where it is square, but it can be taken to work. And also in the middle, we started to introduce color to the bag because it's not just the plain straw. Persons wanted red, they wanted blue, they wanted different colors. And because we're a customized company, we tell the person that they can always customize in any color they want, as long as we have the color. So this is where the square bag came alive. Everybody, so yes, we still have the bucket totes, but we move now into square totes. Because like I said, persons ask us for bags for work, and bags are traveling. So we introduce the square bag to them. So you have the small one with the little red trimming and a flap. You have the one in the middle that is black. It have a zipper, so you can zip it, and you have also the one on my left that has a little pattern on it. That's also fusing fabric onto it as well. So that's where the square tote bags came in as well. Next slide. Then we move on to purses, no, again, we also continue to fuse the fabric. My mother, the applique clutch that you see on the left, that is an applique clutch where we fuse the fabric stitching onto the purse just to create a different style. Again, that is also appealing to young people, because whilst young people may not gravitate towards the types of bag, they will gravitate towards the clutch purse and the wristlets. So we started to those again, fuse the fabric onto the straw to let it become more fashionable. If you want a reggae color, you can get it in a Jamaican color. And also on to my right, if you want it in straight color, you can also get it in straight color. To the top of the purse above the green, that is also straw. That's an applique, but it's a different technique that we use. That is the straw that we fuse into the straw as well. So straw on top of straw. That is also another design that we came up with 2 years ago. The clutches in the middle, we came up with that last year. That is called a wrist clutch purse. Normally you wear a clutch underneath your arm, or that's in your hand. We thought about why not have a clutch, but at the wrist. You have wristlet, but why not have a clutch where you can, slip your hands on the inside and you still have a clutch purse, but it has this different shape. So that's where the shape starts to come in. Because normally we just do the regular envelope clutch purse, but no, we started to say, why not? As I said, as trend move, we have to move with the trend because persons, like, every time they come to me, what's the new product they have? What's the new style? What's the new this? And when I look out into the international scene, I watch fashion runways and I see what's happening. And I try to see how our products can fuse with their products so it can match with them. So that's the newest clutch that we have right now. That's the one in the middle. It's called the wrist clutch purse. Now, these are just few of our souvenirs that we have done for weddings. So you have the fan, you have like a CD holder, and you have, this was a client to my left, she wanted something, her wedding souvenir was like a passport. So she wanted something to fit into she wanted a case that can fit the passport. So what we do, we sat with her and we designed something. So that's what I'm saying. From how it started to where we are now, there are so many development that has taken place and technique and new design that we have changed, just to facilitate what persons want. Just to see that, yeah, a lot of times persons look at straw, but the straw can do so many things that we didn't know. But what happened, what we would explore and we think outside the box and open our mind to new ideas and just innovate. What we do, we just innovate and keep going to the drawing board and just creating. My mom started it. She imparted a whole lot inside of us, and what we do, we just take it and infuse it with different style and just take it to the next level. So that's just a few of our souvenirs that we have. We have a lot more, and what we always said, you can come to us if you're having something, anything that you want. Once we can create it, once you draw it and we can create it, we'll make it. This is our avant-garde act. I remember this was a same international fashion block that we entered. This was another challenge for us. So Peters came to us and said that he wants us on his fashion show. And I'm saying that we can't just go with the regular ladies at Granger hat. No, what can we create? So we dig again in our creative box and we came up with these pieces. These are just avant-garde pieces, not for sale or anything. They were just for photographs and for the runway. But this is what I'm saying, taking the fabric can do so many things we didn't even know. But we sat together as a team and we came up with these ideas and it did well. And, we just asked them, what is it that we can create to create a buzz, to create these avant-garde pieces? And look at what the straw creates from how my mother started it, from simple as a hat and bag to always is going now. You're creating these avant-garde pieces with all type of designs. It's interesting because we were actually surprised that we did this. But we're saying, oh my God, the straw can do so many things. Like, do not underestimate this natural fabric that we have here in Jamaica. It can do so many things. But so this is just a few of the pieces also that we create for the runway. You can move to the next slide. These are just highlights of interviews that we did regarding the products. And again, we also, it's how it started and where it's going now. So these interviews were around how my mom started it and how it's going now. These are just highlights of a couple shows that I've been to and persons who have been interested in our products and like it. As you can see, each of them with one of the newest designs, the bags, the hats. Yeah. No, this is our corporate products. I remember it was JBDC who invited us to the first Christmas in July show. And they said, 60, they want corporate. I remember we said, okay, corporate. Again, we're just used to making hats and bags. So again, we dig deep and it was my friend, Taja Williams, said, why not make an iPad case? And I said, an iPad case out of straw? Like, let's try it. And she was the first person that gave us the iPad and we tried it. And that was a hit. We went to the show, Christmas in July, 2015, I believe, and we made an iPad case. And can I tell you, that was the hit because the US Embassy was the one that saw the iPad case. And the iPad case is the one to my right. They were the one that ordered, I think, the first 200 iPad cases they gave out to their dignitaries. That was very good. And we had hats there, we had other things there, but the iPad case was the hit because we did it. And trust me, when we first started, it was out of trial and error. Or we did not stop until we get the perfect fit. Inside is padded with the pad. We have the fabric on the inside, and we tried and tried. On the left, to my left, you have the conference folder. That was something that we did for the Scientific Research Council. You know, again, because we made the iPad case, then a conference folder wouldn't be that hard for us to make. So again, we challenge ourselves to move into corporate now, because that would be our clients. We should be able to offer corporate some gifts that they can give to their clients, also from our indigenous material. And we're still not taking away the original plaiting technique. There's the same plaiting technique, nothing is changed. It's just that things have evolved, it has developed. So that is just some of also our corporate products that we offer as a company. This is another one to my left. We started, well, my mother, Sydia Brown, has always had a vision in mind for making sandals. So this was just our first try. It is not perfect as yet, but we also showcased this at Christmas in July as well. So it's not perfect yet. We still had a vision to fuse the fiber, the fiber, making sandals with some fabric and some leather, but we're still working on it. But over to my right, this is something that's backrest. Now these backrests came about in COVID time. What happened? COVID steps in, the tourist industry literally shuts down. So I said, okay, what is next? How can we pivot? We need to pivot. We need to move forward. I said, God, what do we have us to do? We sat again as a team and I said, a lot of persons are home because of the COVID. A lot of persons are home now, and they are working from home, and they have these office chairs. A lot of persons are driving. Why not create a backrest? But like this cushion comfortably enough for them to sit. It give you a proper posture, and also it's comfortable, and the fiber in itself breathes. So it's not suffocating. It's not hot. Naturally, fiber breathes, so it's airy. I said, why not do that? And we tried it. And somebody from Wilmers High School, for the principal, he was the one that supported us. We made a backrest. We tested it first for ourselves. We tested it again. And here it is in everybody drives around with it every day. Here is it at a school, sitting, and the person, the feedback so far that it is very comfortable. Again, look at how far we're coming from just hats and bags, moving all the way, and now we're at backrest, creating something to pad the back, creating something that we have never thought about that at all. Sometimes we think about just the hats and the bags, but taking it from where it started to where it's now, it is just tremendous and marvelous, and we really have to give God thanks for that. So I'm really happy. So from hats, now we're moving into backrests. Another thing that COVID brought us to think again was, again, a lot of persons are home, so we have to move into the homes with them. So planter baskets. For a lot of persons are dressing up their plants. You buy your plant and you get the regular pot. But if you want to just dress up your plants, so we started to create plant basket, food lid. I've never thought about that, but as again, the idea started to come. So the food lid then, and to my left, there's this basket, literally an all-purpose basket. You use it for the kitchen, use it for the bathroom, use it for, it It can be a magazine stand, anything. And all of these products, like I said, we did not even think about it years ago. But no, I'm saying, look at what the same technique is. You look at what we're doing with the same technique. It is just beautiful. So planter basket, we added to our collection. Food lid, all-purpose basket, and we're going to show you. Chance to go to the next slide. And the home decor continue, a storage basket. Now, we never thought that we could have made like a square box that can literally stand from straw, because straw, even though the jipper japper is stiff, we never thought it is stiff enough to literally make a box. But again, we take the challenge. It was actually somebody came to us and said, Sydia, can you make a storage basket once? I want to store my shoes in. And I didn't say no. We didn't say no. We said, okay, we take on that challenge again. And this is what you're seeing now. The challenge of taking on something, and what we create now is a storage basket. Now, the storage basket can use anywhere, for toys, for your house, for books, for shoes, anything at all, just anywhere. And it's just beautiful. Move on to the wall art. Now, these are just the wall art, that's in the middle, is byproduct of Sydia. Now, some of these things is like scraps. After we make some stuff, normally we would have thrown them away. But no, we said, why not again create something for the home? A wall art piece. So I started to stitch with the same technique, just stitching them together, putting them on wood, and putting them all together, and then put a little mirror in the center. And we came up with a wall art. And again, another innovative idea came up again. Moving on to the straw cushion. We had made this thing a lot. That straw cushion, we did that years ago for just one time, but we kind of pushed it aside. But again, it came up again. And when we sat on it, in fact, we made it first for ourselves. I put it at my back and I'm like, this is comfortable. This feels good. And I sat on it as well. I'm like, this feels good. This feels like it could be a product. Again, same technique, same plaiting technique, but just move to something different. What we're doing is move it into the home, because as COVID hit, you have to pivot and you have to move. And we just started to create more things. So we have the storage basket, we have the wall art, and we have the straw cushion. And the straw cushion is actually very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. That's it. So there's a lot more, but I just put together a few pieces, how it started, how it's going, and what we have been doing even pre-COVID, and now COVID is here, what we have been just creating. So that's it in a nutshell. Oh, and another thing I must mention, that we also just work with other companies. Like, we create package solutions for companies as well, because we had an opportunity to create a basket for a company that's called Isle. I think it's Audrey Wilson is the director for that company. So we create packaging solutions. If you are a company and you have bottles or whatever, you want us to create like a packaging solution to put your stuff in, we also offer that service as well. Like I say, you can always come to us and we can actually work something. Or once the fiber can, because the fiber flex, now that we know that it literally flexes even more, you have that opportunity, to come to us and we can create these things for you. So that's it in a nutshell, how we fuse things, how it started and how we fused. What my mom started on Tuesday with fabric, with different materials, and just how we taking it from there to here to raise it now.
Sydia, I'm just so excited because I could not wait for you to say that is it. Let me get to question you, because I am so impressed with these home decor items. Anybody who know me is a home decor girl. And when I see all the storage basket and the wall art, but one of the things I want to ask you, Sydia, because I've always been concerned where straw is concerned in terms of the finishing, to ensure that when you when you have the bags and stuff, you take them away from yourself and then you see pieces of straw sticking onto you. So I'm asking about the finishings that you use to ensure that there is no residue left when you probably lean back on a straw cushion or sit on one of with the backrest or something like that. How do you finish it to ensure?
Well, absolutely. Well, because so if we dye the straw, one, we ensure that, because First of all, we normally dye the straw. That was before we start using the thread. So once we dye the straw, we ensure that it's washed out properly. Because if the dye is
Oh,
not washed out properly, I'm telling you, it will leave. It will leave this mark on you. So we have to ensure that it's washed out properly. And how you ensure that? The water has to be extremely clear. And once you're rinsing the straw, absolutely clear. Then it has to be dried properly. And once it dry properly, there's a little tester thing that we do to, like, rub our hands on the straw and rub something white on the straw. And once you rub that and rub that 5 times, nothing will be left on it. So over the years so far, nobody has told us that nothing is left on their skin. And even like a straw getting out of place, what we do to ensure that everything before something go out, we look it over again. If there's any holes in it,
quality
any
control.
knots, we try to pull that out. So the quality control is very important. There's nothing that should be leaving city factory like
Right.
that. So the quality control, and if it's not up to standard, okay, we put that aside, or that has to be fixed, because we wouldn't want persons to, even because there was a situation where I think I sold a bag, and I think one of the strap, we bought a strap and we attached it to the bag, and it burst. So the client came back
Yeah.
and realized that it was something faulty on the bag handle. So we fixed that immediately. But quality
Mhm.
control is very important to City Custom Craft. We wouldn't
Right.
want that at all.
Without revealing too much of your secrets in terms of your production processes or stuff, I heard you mention a while ago dyeing the straw and then washing it and putting it to dry. Isn't this a process that would take like a longer
Mhm.
period? So wouldn't you have to have like excess of straw and all of those things in order to be able to
Yeah, we
produce?
have to. Exactly. So what happens sometimes, because they're customized companies, sometimes this person order, let's say 5 hats, and they want, no, let's say 5 bags, and they want it in color. What we do, we dye enough in the event that somebody may ask for more, because it take a long, it's like 2 days. You need a
Right.
day of dyeing and then a day of drying, because given the event that, well, what happened if rain falls, so you have to give yourself at least 2 days, 2 to 3 days, to make sure it's
Mhm.
properly dyed, it's dyed properly, it's washed out properly, and it's dried properly. About
Okay.
3 days.
I wanted to ask you about the new products and what you were doing during COVID, but I see that production creativity is like the creative juices were flowing. The wall art and the cushion
Yeah,
and the storage basket and the thing around the plant. Where
the
would
backrest.
those and the
Yeah.
backrest? I love the backrest idea because it's two
Mhm.
cushion there behind my back right
Yeah.
now, 'Cause
See,
I'm one
see,
of
so
those
you
people
know.
that, comfort. I'm a creature of comfort. But what I want to find out from you in terms
Okay.
of availability, where can clients, if someone wants to get a product, maybe let's say a couple of the storage baskets, is there anywhere that it's available,
Hmm.
or we'd have to come directly to you to get it custom made?
Yeah, we have to come directly. You'd have to come directly to, because we know that we had an outlet at Devonos, but we're no longer there. So right now, I'm putting everything on Facebook, Instagram, and persons call us directly to come.
Yeah.
Normally, I will have a lot in store, but guess what? Because persons sometimes want their because they're customizable product. I don't want to
Mhm.
sit down and make 6 black, 6 brown, 6 red. What if that's not your color? So you come to us, you give us a call, you make your order, and we give you a timeline, which is not really long, but we give you a timeline to make that. So that's how you
Just
come, because we don't have an outlet right now.
But just to confirm, your products are still available at the things Jamaican stores, right? Some of your products.
Not right now. We have not restocked.
Okay. Okay, but you're going to get that sorted though, especially for the airport store and Devon House.
Yes, yes.
I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
no.
you said that you are you are mostly in terms of your production is mostly in terms of custom made pieces. What kind of price point would you be looking at? Is it something that an individual has to order in a certain amount, a certain quantity, or whatever in
No,
order
you can
to?
order.
Okay.
You can order one. You don't have to order 5. If it's one hat, if it's one
Yeah.
storage basket, if you want one backrest, you can order one.
Yeah.
And of course, we have like because not all of these products are wholesalable. Some are just literally retail because of the time. But you can
Yeah.
order one.
Yeah, I just want persons to know, persons in the meeting room to know that the floor is open for questions. So if you have any questions for Sydia, you can go ahead and type it in the chat. Anything you want to ask her about the production process or about the business itself. Is there anything else in terms of products that you have coming on stream very shortly from Sidcile? I mean, I know you run the whole gamut between last year and this year. I mean, COVID just turned it on for you. But is there anything else that you have coming up?
We're still, well, apart from work, you guys know about the placemat already. No, we still think right now we're in the okay creative mode again. So nothing right now.
Yeah,
Nothing
but
right
you're
now.
in
Trying to
that
get off,
crate.
like trying to get persons to exactly. But we're trying to get persons to buy the storage basket. Just trying to get these products out to persons' homes. Seeing that everybody's at home now.
Yeah, I mean, I think this would be a great product for some of our local stores, maybe like a Maxi or a Amars. Maybe you can pitch it to them and see if it's something that you can get
Okay.
commercial. Because see a comment come in the chat here, loving the storage basket. She wanted, Max Norton is asking if you could share your contact number. Maybe you want to type it in the chat so that persons are able to make contact with you to make orders or something like that.
Okay, let me type it in the chat.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna type it in the chat now.
yeah.
All right, I think that's sent.
All right.
Yeah.
Um, those were all of my questions. So I don't know if persons in the chat have questions. If you do, please feel free to drop them in the chat or raise your hand. We will be happy to take your questions. Also want to remind persons that JBDC's offices remains open. You can always make contact with us via email info@jbdc.net, or you can contact us via phone 876-928-5161, and it goes up to 5. We will be able to connect you with any of the officers that you require the support of. What we would prefer though before you pop into the office is that you make an appointment with us because of COVID and stuff. We are very careful in terms of managing the crowd that comes into the office. So we want to be able to manage the time that you come in. Tanya Cameron is asking a question. She made a comment firstly. Those are really beautiful handmade items. Have you tried listing them on Etsy?
Thank you, Tanya. I thought about that because I'm thinking about other online platforms that I can put them on, but I've actually started the process of Etsy. I've not completed it as yet, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She's saying we've been doing well on that website. Apparently she tried and it
Well,
working out
okay,
for her. Yeah. Etsy is
okay,
actually a
nice.
really great e-commerce platform that you can sell products, handmade products on. But I also want to remind you that JBDC through Things Jamaican has our e-commerce site, thingsjamaicanshopping.com.
On
So it is also an outlet that you can certainly use. And having been with us for so many years, Sydia, you know
yeah.
that it is not very hard for these wonderful products to get listed on our website. All right. So
Yeah.
since there are no questions, Sydia, I want to thank you so much. Okay, hold on. There is a question coming in. Are you looking at collaborating with anyone else in the craft industry to create another hybrid product? For example, fiber and wood or fiber, fabric and wood?
Yeah, that's a good question, and that should be interesting. I love to do that. I love to do that in the near future
Okay,
because
so
I can see the fiber mixing with the wood. Yeah,
mhm. So Tashna, maybe you
that's a
want
good thing.
to um make a link with Sydia. She has posted her number in the chat. So if anything, you can give her a call and see how best you and her can come up with that hybrid fiber and wood or fiber fabric wood product. So today I want to thank you for joining us this morning and having shared the story of Sidcile Custom Craft. I remember when I joined JBDC all those years ago, you were one of the first craft clients that I had the pleasure of meeting, and I fell in love with your products.
Okay.
I also fell in love with your
Thank
mom's
you.
personality because she was just always
Yeah.
smiling and always pleasant.
Smiling.
Yes, so please tell her good morning for me. It's a long, long time I don't see her, but it's okay. I
Yes, I
understand
will.
why. Yeah. So thank you for having
Mhm.
joined us this morning. Thank you for sharing the story. Just a reminder to persons that this recording will be available on our JBDC Jamaica YouTube page. It should be up by about Tuesday. So if you know anyone that wanted to see it but missed it because of any unforeseen circumstance, they can always join us on YouTube to view this or any of our other webinars that we have hosted in the past and those that will come up in the future. So thank you again, Sydia, and have a fantastic rest of the day.
Thank you, Sansia. It was my pleasure sharing the story. It's really my pleasure. Thank you.